So we really doing this? This is not how I expected to bring it all back and come back to uploading, but it is what it is. With that being said, welcome to the draft analysis. Season 4 of the VDL finally here. Ironically, right after I turned 25. Because I'm recording this on, literally, like when I say right after I turned 25, I mean that shit. It's May 29th if I'm recording this. Well, take that back. I don't know my dates. It's May 31st, like 4 in the morning after I'm recording this. I literally turned 25 3 days earlier. So, the best way I could put this is that coming back with 15 coaches and Mega Pokemon, the moves like Hidden Power and Return are still gone, and there's no V move, and I'm probably the worst draft player live. This draft probably doesn't work in my favor, but I went with my strength. If you can see the Mega Venusaur on the screen, the first half of my draft was really built around this Mega Venusaur and what I thought went well with it, while the rest of the draft later on by fixing my own problems I have, which you will probably see later. So let's get right into this, shall we? Starting with this Mega Venusaur right here. If you can see by the name and probably the names of the next few Pokemon you see, I decided to name every single Monolith team for this season after current Chicago Bears players, with the exception of 2 mines, which you will see later on. And the reason for that is, like, if I'm gonna just full on embrace the Chicago Bears name, I might as well go name them after current Bears players. And you got a reason to do so. As such, the Venusaur is named after Khalil Mack, the captain of the Bears, easily the best player on the Bears, no questions asked. This overall monster, like the Mega Venusaur is, and it does the most work. Thick Fat has ability, which means it takes reduced damage from both fire and ice type moves, which basically eliminates 2 weaknesses this Mega Venusaur has, meaning the only weaknesses I have to worry about when I'm Mega Evolved are flying and psychic type moves. Which, if you can see with a certain electric and ground type right there, or should I say electric and dark? Well, it's ground and dark, same thing. Those are 2 priorities of mine. I need to stop that because they go with Mega Venusaur, basically counter what the thing can do. And just looking at the stats, you can run this thing many different ways. It could be bulky, it could be offensive, it could be specially defensive, regular defensive, it could be physical attack, basically anything except fast, because why the fuck would you want a fast Mega Venusaur? And the moveset it still have, even with the deleted moves, currently health itself. I have reliable recovery with Giga Drain, with Leech Feed, and with Fittifiz. I can set up Recurve. As long as there's no gravity terrain, I can use Earth Power and Earthquake to counter any electric types that want to come in for the resistant damage. This thing with the poison type stab, especially with Sludge Bomb, allows me to handle other fairies. I can go again for other bug types. I believe poison is the strongest bug. And on my arguably best team I've ever drafted, Mega Venusaur of the Mega on my team. So I wanted to use this thing for season 1. I only got to use it now. Probably shouldn't have taken it round 1, but at this point I was so committed to using this thing that I was willing to basically handicap myself early on compared to the other 15 teams just to get what I wanted and have a solid plan around that. So with that, moving on to Arcanine, I can finally use a shiny boy named after Cody Whitehair. Yeah, Cody Whitehair, because the anchor, the offensive line, because I have Pokemon like Mega Venusaur, like the Empoleon, like Pokemon drafted later like Pyukumuku, spoiler, it allows me to not have to run defensive Arcanine 90% of the time and allow me to run more offensive sets, like giving it a choice item, or if I want to keep the heavy duty boost on it, I can. An assault vet set, perhaps a Shuckleberry Arcanine Fed, because it have the move pool to be an offensive Arcanine. Agility, Raven Speed, obviously Flare Blitz, Flamethrower, Fire Blast, Heat Wave as a stab. It also gives the coverage like Close Combat, Crunch, Dragon Pulse and Outrage, Extreme Speed, Double Edge, Facade. I need to scroll down because for some reason I can't remember the rest of it. Yeah, Iron Head, Morning Fun as Recovery, gives Play Rough for Dragons. Like, many people know Arcanine for its defensive capability, so when it comes to being offensive, people don't realize this thing having the same move pool it can use. And it just hits so well, and the reason for that is because its special attack stat only being 110 and 100 compared to other fire types aren't really all that per se, especially with this 95 speed, 90 HP. People run it bulky all the time and don't realize in the right situation with the offensive minded team, Arcanine can put in a lot of work, especially when you run it Flash Fire to counter other fire types. Hence the Cody Whitehair name being the anchor. Next up is Empoleon. I named it Akeem Dream after Akeem Hicks. It wasn't my first choice. I wanted to name it after, I think, Eddie Goldman, and then name Pyukumuku after Akeem Hicks because it's so slow, but I wouldn't have gifted because I felt like Akeem didn't fit the Pyukumuku as it did in Empoleon, considering Empoleon is so damn bulky and hits so hard when built right. And the reason I drafted Empoleon because it gave me, it doesn't give me a bulky water, unfortunately, but oh well, it does give me a water steel type, which is an unironically great typing, although I believe it's only neutral damage to ground. If not super effective. Stats aren't really that good. 111 special attack and 101 special defense. Great, especially that one special defense for a steel type. This thing gets defog, so it doesn't force me to have defog on a flying type Pokemon. I can run on this thing instead. And on top of that, this thing also gets Stealth Rock. I have priority in Aqua Jet. It gets Earthquake, Drill Peck, Grass Knot, Knock Off. Well, a lot of things get knocked off, but Shadow Claw, Signal Beam. Oh yeah, Signal Beam even DLC like me. Ha! But yeah, for some reason, and I think it was last season that Aaron had Empoleon and made it all the way to the final with this thing, being the defensive anchor, being this rocker, being this defogger. Empoleon, in my opinion, is pretty underrated. People sleep on this thing a little too much for my liking, so I'm glad I finally get to use it because, fun fact, Empoleon was one of the Pokemon ever since I started playing competitively in 2015 that I've never used, ever. So this is my first time using this thing, so let's see how it goes. Next up, one new Pokemon that came out with the Crown Tundra DLC, Regieleki, named after Tariq Cohen because of that base 200 speed. It was the fastest mon in existence. Therefore, why not name it after the fastest player on the Chicago Bears? If I was naming it after like Bears players of all time, this easily would have been named Devin Hester. But I decided to go for specifically the current Bears roster minus 2 players. So, like I said, base 200 speed. I also have 100 attack, special attack. But the reason this thing was so tiered low, given its speed stat, is because it has pretty much no move pool at all. It pretty much have all the electric type moves to take advantage of its ability. Then you have Screens, Rapid Spin, Agility, which why would the fastest thing allow the agility? And then what does it have for coverage? Acrobatics, Ancient Power, Rapid Spin, Flash for 5, Flash Swift, Extreme Speed for no reason, and then that's pretty much it. This Regieleki is never going to do much for you, especially with this very shallow move pool. But it makes up for it with the fact that it can set up screens, it can be a rapid spinner, and it has a pretty good ability in Transistor, which multiplies its attack stat by 1.5 when using an electric type attack. So basically, you click an electric type move on this thing, it's like it has a free choice specs or choice band just by default, specifically for the electric type attack. Now pair it up with one of those items normally. If you don't have a ground type, something's dying. If it's not going to die, it's going to take a hard hit. I'm just saying. Next, Crocodile, named after Tevin Coleman, one of the rookies. Tevin Coleman, what the fuck? No, Tevin Jenkins, one of the new offensive linemen for the Bears this season. Because this thing is all mean. All mean, hits hard, is going to protect you from whatever comes your way. Intimidate for great ability, like you saw in Arcanine. Might see an even better ability, because every time it gets a kill, its attack stat, it goes up. Scarf Might see is a popular set in this Crocodile. Anchor Point, I've never seen run, but if someone can ever run Anchor Point, get the Crocodile crit it, and then if attack stat was raised to the max, it just wins automatically. 117, great attack stat. Have a great move pool. Obviously, you're going to want to run knock off a crunch. Going to run close combat. You're going to run a ground type move. Crocodile is still the same thing it's always been. It's always hit hard in the right hands and always do good. I could say no more about it. Next up, Togekiss, named after Allen Robinson because it is very underrated. It says Hustle, but Serene Grace is the ability you're going to run all the time, which increases the effects of moves that have them, like Air Flash. I clicked the wrong thing. Air Flash has a 30% chance to make the target flinch. With Serene Grace, it becomes 50%. Body Slam becomes 50% to paralyze. What else? Not Double Edge. Extra Sensory becomes a 20% chance. Fire Blast, 20% chance to burn. Flamethrower, same thing. Every Heat Wave. Play Rough, 20% chance to lower the target attack. Everything gets doubled, basically. As long as it's not a status move, which this and Jirachi would. What am I trying to say? Oh my lord. Serene Grace is why people want to pair Togekiss and Jirachi together so much, because with those two Pokemon by itself, you could literally flinch half an entire team to death. And that is why I want the Togekiss, because I did not want this thing used against me, and I needed this fairy type. So, and it gives me a great special attacker, so I could say less. Ditto. Now you may be looking at me like, sir, if named after Mitch Trubisky, he's not in the Bears anymore. Which you are right. The reason I named it after Mitch Trubisky is because of the imposter ability. Because you cannot sit here and tell me Trubisky did not become an imposter during that time when everyone thought he was the best quarterback in the 2017 draft. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. This thing is here to transform into any Pokemon on the opposing side, potentially stop any sweep in the right situation. I could reverse sweep and win myself. Moving on to Cobalion. How the hell I get this thing round 9, I will never know. Round 9 Cobalion, named after David Montgomery because it is a workhorse. Pun intended. Steel fighting type. Give me a fighting type I need it. It gives me a bulkier steel type. 129 defense. 108 speed. This is the second fastest Pokemon I drafted. That's sad to say. Justified. It never gets hit by a dark type move. Attack stat goes up. I could work that in my favor with the right predictions. It also have a pretty okay move pool. You know, Rock, Sacred Sword, Fighting Stab. It gives Calm Mind if you want to run special with Air Flash, Flash Cannon. They also have Volt Switch for priority on my side. It can also set up Rocks and Steel Beam. Best believe, in the right situation, I will run Steel Beam once if I can do it in the right situation. And I actually am forgetting them on. Oh my god. That's it. No, I'm not. Okay. Pyukumuku, I cannot think of a current Chicago Bear that could fit this thing, because if you're playing the NFL, you're not a slow player. And if Pyukumuku is here purely for defense, because look at that speed stat. 5 base speed? Are you for real? No. Those defensive stats, though. Whew. Imagine if this thing evolved and you could put an Eviolite on this thing with those defensive stats. Oh, God, help us all. In of Out is a very crazy ability. If it gets KO'd, whatever HP this thing lost when they got KO'd, boom, the mon that KO'd it loses that same amount of HP. So this thing could legitimately kill a Pokemon just from this ability alone, just from dying. And then Unaware is also a great ability because it ignores Pokemon setting up. And if something else I'm forgetting, but like I said, it's early in the morning as I'm recording this. It's really just fit up mine, you know. It have both screens, it has pain split for recovery, it can curve, it can baton pass, it has recover, rest, taunt, THICC. Pretty much nothing to directly attack. If you're gonna want to run THICC, you know, probably curve, you know, baton pass, probably something like miracle, counter. The main issue with this thing is that I can't really baton pass curve because you can only, when you're baton passing, you can only pass one stat. So this thing is purely here to be a setup mine if I ever bring it. Which I want to bring it at least once this season. So next up, another mine, probably one of the best Pokemon I've ever used, Flat King. Surprisingly, I know, named after Danny Trevathan. Why? I don't know. Probably because this thing hits hard, it's deceptively fast, very bulky. That would probably be why it's named after Danny Trevathan. But this thing, 150 base HP, 150 attack, 100 speed. The only thing stopping this Pokemon from being like UU and higher is its ability. It has a terrible ability, which means it will only get to move every other turn. That is the only thing keeping this thing held back. If it had a different ability, oh god, watch out. And being a normal type, you already know it got the coverage for days. I love Flat King, and it doesn't get enough love because of the Truant ability. Man, this is why people use this thing in doubles, because you can just take the ability off of it. And coming back from last season, this is the other exception, Charger Bug. It's named Walter. You're probably looking at this thing like there's no one named Walter on the Chicago Bears. Not the current Bears. This is named after Walter Payton, in my opinion, the greatest Chicago Bear of all time. Because Charger Bug is the GOAT. A GOAT with sticky web for speed control. A GOAT that can run Eviolite. A GOAT that single-handedly might reach to the playoffs last season. I'm going to end the draft analysis on that note. I was there for about that. I'm just going to end it like that. Let me switch over. I made this. Because I know I'm going to forget some. This is what I'm talking about. 200 base speed with the Reggie Ellicky, then 108 Cobalion, 100 Flat King. Everything else is below 100. That is probably going. This is why I needed the Charger Bug. If I knew the team I was planning on drafting, I wasn't going to have speed. Those webs are going to be real important. Especially because I have like no Pokemon over 95 HP except for the Flat King. Defense, my physical defense is crazy. Special defense is alright, same with the special attack and the physical attack, but the speed is going to be the thing I see other teams try to take advantage of, which is why the Charger Bug is important, which is why having Pokemon around base 100 like Cobalion, Flat King, Arcanine, and Crocodile, specifically those four, which could easily be Scarfers, and then the other bulky Pokemon that want to run Hazard and do damage like the Venusaur, the Empoleon, the Pyukumuku, why their speed stats are down there. And I totally forgot a mod I did not put on my thing. Holy shit, I just noticed that. Let's come back. I know you all just saw it. How did I miss that? Where are you, buddy? Dragonite. I didn't even realize I didn't have Dragonite thing. This thing was drafted after Togekiss. So, I don't know how I did that. I am so sorry. Let's come back to Dragonite real quick. It gives another ice weakness. I know that much. But multi-scale. At full HP, attack damage is halved. I mean, this thing's not going to die to an ice type move turn 1 unless it's crit. Great attack, great special attack, great special defense. Basically great everything except for speed, which is average. Great coverage. What am I going to name this Dragonite? You know what? Maybe this would be the thing I name after Eddie Goldman. Because normally Dragonite, basically yellow, gold. Yeah, just name it after Eddie. Straight up. I'm going to end the video right here because this is a mess. I'm tired. I want to go to bed. Good night.